You've probably heard this advice all your life. Eat more fruit. It's good for you. And that's true, or to a point. But if you're over 60 and your legs feel heavier than they used to, if your knees feel swollen for no reason, if your calves cramp at night, or your ankles seem puffier in the morning, the culprit might not be age, or even lack of exercise. It could be the fruit sitting on your kitchen table. Yes, really. Because not all fruit is harmless, especially as your body changes with age. Let me explain. As we grow older, our body's internal systems slow down. Your metabolism becomes more sensitive. Your kidneys process minerals less efficiently. Your blood vessels and joints don't recover from pressure as quickly. So when you eat fruit, especially the wrong kind, at the wrong time, in the wrong amount, you may unknowingly trigger water retention in your legs, blood sugar spikes that increase inflammation, excess potassium or acid that stresses your kidneys or joints, uric acid buildup that worsens arthritis or gout. Let's start with a popular one: durian. Rich, creamy, indulgent, and extremely heavy in sugar and fat. One small portion of durian contains nearly 300 calories, plus loads of natural sugar and saturated fat. For an older adult, that's a metabolic overload, especially at night. Durian is also heat-producing, yang in traditional terms, which may worsen swelling, inflammation, or joint stiffness. If you've noticed that your legs feel unusually hot, puffy, or stiff after eating it, that's no coincidence. Another one? Mangoes and pineapples. Delicious and vitamin-rich? Yes, but also very high in sugar and acidity. That acidity can irritate the digestive system, while the sugar load may disrupt insulin and spike inflammation, making them a poor choice for those with diabetes, arthritis, or gout. Still think bananas are always good? Well, bananas are rich in potassium, which is excellent if your kidneys are working well. But many older adults experience gradual kidney decline, and high potassium can become dangerous. It can cause muscle weakness, it can disrupt your heartbeat, it may worsen water retention. Especially if you're already taking blood pressure medications or diuretics, excess potassium becomes a hidden risk. You might feel more tired than usual, unstable or shaky when walking, slower reflexes and leg heaviness, and yet bananas are often seen as safe or neutral. See how misleading that can be? So should you stop eating fruit altogether? Of course not. But you need to be smarter about which ones to eat and when. Here are fruit allies for your aging body. Berries, like cherries, blueberries, high in antioxidants, help reduce inflammation and protect your joints. Apples, rich in fiber and water, low in sugar, help with digestion and water balance. Kiwi fruit, high in vitamin C for collagen production, vital for joint health. Grapefruit, if not on certain meds, supports circulation and immunity. Pears, gentle on the digestive system and mildly hydrating. How and when to eat fruit matters too. Eat fruit earlier in the day, not before bed. Avoid eating fruit on an empty stomach if you have blood sugar issues. Choose whole fruit, not juice. Eat with a protein or fat source, like yogurt or nuts, to slow sugar absorption. Real story: Mr. John, 67, thought he was eating clean. He cut out fried foods and meat and loaded up on fruits, mangoes, bananas, watermelon, every day. But his legs kept swelling and his knees ached constantly. Once he switched to apples, berries, and lowered his banana intake, the pressure in my legs dropped, he said. I can stand longer, and I sleep better at night. So let me ask you, do you eat fruit every day? Which kinds? Have you ever noticed feeling worse after certain ones? Drop your experience in the comments. Your story might open someone else's eyes to something they've never questioned. Because yes, fruit is natural, but nature works differently when you're 60, 70, or beyond. Your body is wiser now. It deserves food that respects that wisdom. Not all fruit sugar is created equal. In fact, one of the biggest misconceptions about healthy eating is assuming that natural sugar, harmless sugar. Here's the truth. For aging joints, blood vessels, and kidneys, too much fruit sugar, especially fructose, can actually cause more harm than good. Let's break this down. Fruits contain a type of sugar called fructose. It's natural, yes, but in large amounts, especially when the body's systems slow down with age, fructose can raise uric acid levels, which triggers joint pain and gout, cause fat buildup in the liver, leading to metabolic slowdown, increase insulin resistance, raising blood sugar and inflammation, slow kidney filtration, increasing leg swelling and fluid retention. If you have arthritis, diabetes, or high uric acid, eating too many sweet fruits, like lychee, longan, mango, grapes, may quietly worsen your symptoms. Here's a simple clue. If your knees ache more after certain fruits, if you feel bloated or sluggish after a fruit-heavy snack, it may not be just aging. It may be fruit overload. Let's talk about lychee and longan, two fruits often eaten as snacks or desserts in many parts of Asia. They taste light and refreshing. But did you know, just 10-12 lychees can spike your blood sugar dramatically? Longan is high in both fructose and heat-producing energy, which can worsen inflammation. Many elderly people say they feel restless, hot, or puffy after eating them, especially at night. Add in weakened kidney function or poor circulation, and it becomes the perfect storm for swollen feet, aching joints, or even dizziness. A real case. Ms. Lynn, 62, loved eating Long Gone every night. She thought it helped her sleep. But over time, she began waking up with stiff knees, swollen ankles, and a feeling of pressure in her calves. After her doctor reviewed her diet, she cut back to 1 to 2 servings of low-fructose fruits per day and swapped Long Gone for blueberries and kiwi. In 2 weeks, "My legs feel lighter. I don't dread stairs anymore," she said. So, what should you watch out for? High-fructose fruits to limit. Lychee longan grapes, mango watermelon cherries in large amounts. Safer options for joint and blood health. Berries, anti-inflammatory, low sugar. Kiwi, rich in vitamin C. Guava, high fiber, very filling. Pear, gentle and hydrating. Avocado, technically a fruit, rich in healthy fat. Ask yourself, have you ever felt joint pain or swelling worsen after eating fruit? Have you ever noticed you feel heavier or more bloated after certain healthy snacks? Comment your experience below. Someone else might realize they're not alone. Because when you're over 60, even healthy foods need healthy timing, healthy portions, and smart choices. You may think fruits are always light and refreshing, but what if I told you that for seniors who move less and metabolize slower, certain fruits can actually contribute to weight gain, circulation issues, and even leg numbness? It's not about blaming fruit. It's about understanding how your body changes after 60 and how your diet needs to change with it. Here's what happens with age. Digestive enzymes decrease, sugar breaks down slower, circulation slows, more prone to leg heaviness and swelling, insulin sensitivity drops, blood sugar spikes more easily, muscle mass shrinks, fat stores rise, especially with inactivity. Now imagine eating a big fruit bowl, watermelon, pineapple, grapes, after dinner while sitting on the couch. It tastes good. It feels healthy. But without enough movement to burn those sugars, here's what happens behind the scenes. Sugar enters the bloodstream quickly. Insulin rushes in to handle the spike. Some sugar is used, the rest is stored as fat. Over time, weight gain, fatigue, and worse leg circulation, especially after dinner, when metabolism slows even further. That's why many older adults report waking up with stiff calves, feeling tired despite eating light, developing belly fat despite a healthy diet because fruit sugar plus low activity, a dangerous combo. Real story, Mr. Zhang, 67, switched to eating fruit instead of rice at night, thinking it would help him lose weight. But 3 months later, his blood tests showed higher triglycerides, fatty liver development, poor circulation in his lower legs. His doctor explained, fruit isn't free calories, it's still sugar, and sugar without movement becomes stored fat. After switching to half a banana or pear with breakfast, no fruit after 6 p.m. evening walks. He said, "I sleep better. My legs don't feel like sandbags in the morning anymore." Here are key guidelines for aging adults. Don't eat fruit late at night. Metabolism slows. Sugar is more likely to be stored as fat. Can interfere with deep sleep. Pair fruit with fiber or protein. Slows sugar absorption, reduces blood sugar spikes. Prioritize low glycemic fruits. Apple, berries, kiwi, guava, citrus. Avoid large portions of watermelon, pineapple, or mango at once. Move daily. Even 10 minutes of walking after eating helps sugar burn efficiently. Remember, fruits are not the enemy. But if you're inactive, eat late, and think fruits are guilt-free. Your legs and blood vessels may suffer the consequences silently. Have you ever experienced sluggish legs, numb toes, or morning swelling despite eating healthy? Drop a comment and share what changes helped you feel better. Because for your body after 60, healthy is not one size fits all. It's personalized, mindful, and constantly adapting. Many people believe that eating fruit is the simplest health habit. Hydrating, anti-aging, rich in fiber and antioxidants. What could go wrong? But if you're over 60, the story changes. Fruits are still beneficial, but how you eat them starts to matter far more than you might think. Your body isn't the same as it was at 30, and what once felt harmless can now quietly strain your legs, your blood vessels, and your overall energy. Here's a question. Have you ever felt heaviness in your legs after eating a bowl of fruit? Have you noticed stiffness in your knees after a fruit-heavy evening snack? These aren't coincidences, they're clues. And one of the biggest reasons behind them is fruit sugar, also known as fructose. Even though it's natural, fructose can still spike your blood sugar, trigger insulin swings, and strain your body's ability to maintain steady energy, especially when you're no longer as physically active. High-sugar fruits like grapes, lychees, pineapples, watermelons, and ripe bananas can trigger inflammation in leg vessels and joints, cause water retention and swelling in the lower body, lead to blood sugar crashes that make your legs feel weak or numb. The mistake isn't the fruit, it's the timing, quantity, and combination. Let's explore some habits that may seem healthy but could be holding you back. You eat fruit after dinner as a light dessert. You skip meals but snack on fruit to eat clean. You drink fruit juices or smoothies, thinking they're better than soda. While these choices may seem harmless, they could be quietly pushing your legs toward inflammation, stiffness, and even poor circulation. But here's the good news. You don't need to stop eating fruit. You just need to eat smart. Here are 5 simple rules to follow. Portion matters. A serving of fruit should be no larger than your fist. Overeating, even with healthy foods, can overload your blood sugar. Choose wisely, favor low sugar, high fiber fruits like berries, kiwi, guava, grapefruit, oranges, apples. Limit high GI fruits like pineapple, watermelon, ripe bananas, and grapes. Balance with protein or fat. Pair fruits with a few almonds, plain Greek yogurt, or a boiled egg to slow down sugar absorption and keep your energy stable. Avoid fruits at night. Your metabolism slows in the evening, and eating fruit late, especially sweet fruit, can lead to fat storage, poor sleep, and next morning sluggishness. Eat whole fruit, not juice. Fruit juice strips away the fiber and concentrates the sugar. Even homemade juice can cause rapid blood sugar spikes, which harm your legs and your energy. Now let's look at a real example. Ms. Lynn, age 65, loved to eat pineapple and grapes at night. She thought it was a healthy alternative to dessert. But over time, her legs felt heavier, and she began waking up with mild numbness. A doctor suggested she shift her fruit intake to the morning, swap in apples or grapefruit, and always pair them with a protein. 3 weeks later, "My legs feel lighter. I don't get that dragging feeling anymore," she said. A small change. Big results. So now, let me ask you, what time of day do you eat fruit? Do you ever feel strange in your legs or joints afterward? Do you know which fruits your body handles best, and which might be doing more harm than good? Your answers might hold the key to your own recovery, and they might inspire someone else to rethink their habits too. Because health isn't always about adding more. Sometimes it's about doing less of what quietly drains you. The body speaks in whispers before it screams. Your job is to listen early, before it becomes a shout. Ready to rebuild from the inside out? Start with one change. A smaller fruit portion, a better fruit choice, an earlier time in the day. Then notice how your legs respond. And let that become the new conversation between you and your body.